Hi everyone, welcome to Level Check. This is a tutorial for the parental settings in Roblox, and you may or may not know that Roblox recently completely threw out all of its old safety settings. They got rid of the old 4-digit PIN codes and they now drop kids into automated age buckets. There are Roblox Kids accounts for ages 5 to 8. There are Roblox Select accounts for ages 9 to 15. Now, on paper, automated buckets sounds great, but as parents, we immediately see the glaringly obvious real world problem here, and that is that there is a massive developmental difference between a 5-year-old who has just learnt to read and a chaotic 8-year-old. And similarly, the same thing goes for the next tier up. Putting a 9-year-old in the same gameplay bracket as a 15-year-old high schooler is a massive leap. So whilst these default filters are a great starting point to keep the worst of the platform away from the younger eyes, they are incredibly rigid. They operate entirely on automated checkboxes just like this, which means that they are great at spotting a pixelated weapon or relying on what the game developers say is in the game, but they are terrible at understanding actual child development. So let's break down the automatic labels about what they actually mean so you can see the gaps, and then we'll just finish off the tutorial with how you can lock down your child's account and block certain titles that you've identified as being inappropriate. So Roblox now filters its entire catalogue using 4 core content labels. Minimal, which is the baseline, it means that there's little to no violence, there's zero blood, no scary elements. Think of it as a basic pet simulator or a colouring game, which ultimately you'd think is alright for everybody. Mild is the next level up, which allows for frequent cartoon violence, goofy slapstick humour, and unrealistic blocky blood spray. Your 5 to 8-year-olds are locked to minimal and mild by default, but arguably I still wouldn't be letting a 5-year-old play some of the games that are identified as mild. Next up is moderate. This is where things really start to escalate. This category opens up to realistic blood, tactical or intense combat violence, crude humour, and genuine fear elements or jump scares. This is the default playground for anybody 9 and up, but again, some of it is still really at that level that I think is too much for a 9-year-old. Now, the last section is restricted. This is strictly for users that are aged over 18. So I wouldn't worry too much about this. Your kids literally cannot click into any of these titles without scanning a real life ID card and having that stored on their file. Now, these labels are fine for filtering out extreme visual gore, but they rely only on Roblox's automated system, and it leaves a massive blind spot for more sensitive children unless the gameplay developers really do explicitly underline everything in their game, and let's face it, a lot of them don't. So here's what the algorithm completely fails to assess. If a game has flashing lights, developers are great at putting up the standard physical health warning. But when it comes to psychological and emotional impact, well, the algorithm doesn't automatically sort that. And whilst some developers do put that in their game description, let's face it, if you're an 8 or a 9-year-old, you're probably not reading the descriptions and just clicking the game anyway. So a game can feature entirely blocky, colourful, unbloody graphics, which automatically scores it as a mild or a moderate rating, but beneath the surface, it could be a psychological thriller. So even in the absence of any weapons, violence, or even blood, for a sensitive 8 or 9-year-old, these kind of games can cause genuine nightmares because the environment they're built on relies on fear, anxiety, and dread. So whilst the labels and the algorithm do their job to a degree, it doesn't really capture the vibe of the game and the emotional impact that it could have on your child. And then there's the financial reality. A game can pass every safety filter with flying colours, be completely free of scary themes, and still be an absolute psychological minefield for a kid's impulses. Many of the popular titles on the platform are absolutely fine, and many are adequately labelled up. But there are still some that get through the net when they are trending, and they are built purely as aggressive cash grabs. They use predatory, hyper optimized dopamine loops designed to make your kid feel left out if they don't buy the virtual items. We're talking less about the unskippable adverts blocking the screen every 30 seconds, but more into misleading pop ups designed to trick a child into accidentally spending your real world money and their Robux, and massive pay to win walls as well, where the gameplay is completely ground to a halt unless you buy an upgrade. So, how do we actually take control? Well, step one, when your child is on Roblox, you are going to need your own separate adult Roblox account. Once you have that, you can go into your child's account settings by selecting parental controls in your settings area, and you can link your profiles together. This will give you a remote dashboard on your phone or on your computer so that you can manage their digital life without chasing down their tablet or getting hold of their device. So from this dashboard, you can bypass the rigid default age limits. If your 8-year-old is playing a game that's labeled as mild, but it's still giving them some form of anxiety, then you can search for that title and add it to the list of blocked games. The blocked games will still show up in the search results, but your child won't be able to access it unless you unblock it. Another important one here is sensitive issues. By default, this should be triggered to off. Just make sure that it is, and this will keep your children safe from any kind of political, religious, or ideological debates that they might walk into when they think they're just playing a very simple obstacle course. I think Roblox has done a good job in setting a baseline, but remember, nobody knows your child better than you. So if you think something is inappropriate, now you have the tools to go ahead and block it. I hope this basic tutorial has been of use to you today. If it has, please do like the video to help other parents find this content, and subscribe to Level Check Roblox. Remember, when your child asks to play a new trending game, it's worth checking out my video reviews because I may have already reviewed the content, and that will make it a lot easier for you to decide whether it's suitable for your child.